Given that, when I first started teaching ATM, I wrote ATMs out being so precise and literal, every word. I couldn't think of one word that wasn't important to me. So I was forever writing, out. Then I started, if I do stick figures, I can circle a part that's the variation is about. I can do arrows, I can do eyeballs. So I started in my classes, if I'm doing a lesson that I want to recall now, I would just have the stick figures. In a training program, I'm a little bit more perfectionist-oriented. What? Simon? I have to put the beanie on. I have to put the... I have to put the beanie on. And also because I want to give you some of Moshe's language. I'm very Moshe-oriented, so although some of his lessons he rants and rails a bit, his language I think is essential and primary, and so I try to bring some of that. But you'll see lessons where I'll have, so I can, if I really want more, I can put my glasses on and go, oh yeah. And if I want a little touch up, I've got stick figure, directions, configuration, orientation, and things like LOS for lying on the stomach, LOB for lying on the back, And you'll get more and more ideas as you go along. Share your ideas with one another. Ask your learning group leader for their ideas. Ask other people in other study groups. You don't quite get that. But you will have, one down the track. When are the Amherst videos available for trainees? Is it end of the training program, or is it right now? Okay.
Yeah, so I'll try and put that in an email too, just to remind you how to go and see those.
Mm-hmm. The Amherst training tapes I was thinking of. They can get them now. But Julie, every educational director will have some view about when things are introduced, and that's about giving. If your tendency is too much information, it's too much. It can be too much information.
Reference is that you concentrate on what we're doing here, and the support structure of the learning activities to help you. But if that's not enough, then there's more available.
And I would say it's essential practitioner owning. But yeah, so question.
With regards to that, maybe you know the answer to this question, Jenny. All this the time stuff.
That'll.
All our fabulous notes. Just say there was someone who hadn't written all that down. Is it written down somewhere where I could get it?
The synopsis. The synopsis will have those lists in.
Just these concepts.
Yep, these concepts will be in the synopsis, which will be on the website. Yeah.
Following Julie's directions.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, anything else? How'd we get off on that? Oh, I was looking at seeing if I had anything on this lesson that I was going to teach. See what I had. Okay, please bend your knees. Stand your feet. Notice how your pelvis is lying on the floor, in relation to the floor. The length of your spine. The contact of your back. Bring your right knee over your abdomen and hold on to your right knee below your knee with both hands. Your left leg is bent, stays bent. And you hold on to your right knee You can interlace your fingers below your knee. The record got stuck for a second. Gently draw your knee a little bit towards yourself and let it come back to this position. And notice, what do you sense? So below your kneecap, not the back of your thigh, below your kneecap. So your foot will hang down. Your foot will hang down towards your buttock. Your foot hangs down towards your buttock. You let your knee bend. And then you use your hands to guide your knee a little toward yourself and a little away from yourself. Listen to what you sense. Your knee is moving toward and away from yourself. But what joints are moving in order to allow your knee to move towards and away from yourself? Sense anything in your hip joint? Changing of the angle between your thigh and your pelvis at the front? Do you have any sense that as you draw your knee towards you, how your pelvis presses the floor, or where your pelvis presses the floor, changes a little bit? Each time you draw your knee towards you, change the angle. So you could direct your knee a little bit towards your right armpit and return, and then a little bit towards your sternum. But try many, many angles. Feeling if any of them evoke a shift in how your pelvis leans on the floor more than others. That's the question. So your knee moves towards and away from yourself. Towards and away from yourself. And each time you move away, you come back at a different angle. So your knee might aim more in the direction of your nipple, or more on the right side, or more in the direction of the left side. But you don't move left and right with your knee close towards you. You move your knee toward and away, toward and away. But the angle of your leg to your midline changes. So I see people traveling left and right, either with their knee towards them or their knee away from them. So what words didn't you hear? Okay, put that leg down, stand your foot. Then bring your left knee over your abdomen. Interlace your fingers and hold on below your knee with your hands. So to start with, do you pull your knee towards you? Where would your leg rest? Where it supports your arms? Where would your arm rest that support your leg? And then begin to direct your knee a little towards yourself and away with the help of your hands. Notice what you feel in your hip joint, how your pelvis might roll a little bit on the floor, so the weight moves more to the upper rim at the back as your knee comes closer towards you. Maybe when your knee's going further to the side, you may feel your pelvis leaning more to the left. But where does your leg, movement of your leg, connect with your pelvis and invite your pelvis to roll a little bit backwards so that your lower back comes closer to the floor? The weight moves from leaning on the middle of the pelvis leaning, pressure on the middle, to higher up. How many angles can you find? 1, 2. You think of degrees, and you think of the floor to the left of you being one starting point, and the floor to the right of you is 180 degrees. How many angles? How many degrees did you explore? Now maybe you had enough to interest you, just where you were. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes the questions are for somebody else, or the reiterations are for somebody else. Okay, rest a moment. Lengthen your legs if you're comfortable. Notice how you're sensing yourself and the floor. Then think, how might you use one of the ATMs from this segment to roll up to sitting? Think, then do. Think, imagine, do. Is it easier than what you remember, or is it more difficult? Okay, come to sitting and sit with the feet standing, your knees comfortably spread apart. And this time, can you hold behind the right knee with the right hand, behind the left knee with the left hand? Your thumb with your fingers. So your thumb's with your fingers. See, if you feel okay with this, could you roll back onto your back, come back to sitting? Holding your back of your knees and rock yourself back up to sitting. So continue to do that. Notice how when you're on your back, your knees open, and when you're coming back up to sit, your knees bend. Or maybe it's the other way around. Which one helps you to come up to sitting? And how much swinging do you need to do? So it's fun to swing, but if you can do it easily, see if you can do it without swinging. It takes more differentiation through the torso to do it without swinging, but doing it any way you can is an approximation. Okay, so wherever you are, come back up to sitting, and now put your hands between your legs, cross your arms, and hold on to the behind your left knee with your right hand, your right knee with your left hand, from between your legs. So put your arms between your legs. That's it. Okay. Hold like that and see if you can roll yourself back onto your back. And come back up to sitting. Slow. You just do the beginning of it. See, what would you need to do? You might get there by the end, especially if you do it slowly. Pay attention. When does it help to orient your head forwards? Where do you look with your eyes? How much swinging do you need to do of your legs and your feet? Okay, next time you come up to sit, change your arms. See what it's like this, between the legs. But you change which arm's on top. No, you take your right arm out of your left socket, right arm out of your right socket and attach it to the left. And rock like that. Stuck? It created a stuckness to change your arms? Ah. Can't remember? Okay, then doesn't matter. No, try it once, try it the other. You feel how your back has to round, how you roll over. The back of the top of your pelvis. Your back is round. You can keep your head tucked under. But to roll in this direction, to rock over yourself up to sitting, it'll feel much more pleasurable as your spine becomes more and more differentiated, so you can roll. The weight can shift from one point to another. as you come up. Okay, come back up to sitting. Sit with the soles of your feet together. Hold on to your ankles. Your right ankle with your right hand, your left ankle with your left hand, thumbs with your thumbs with your fingers. Separate your feet a little bit. See if you can roll back onto your back holding your ankles. And come back. So now in different configurations you'll find you'll need to separate your legs more or less. You'll need to unbend your knees and swing your feet down towards your buttocks. Yep. Sometimes for some people, thinking of sending their feet away from themselves can make it easier. So you don't actually feel like it's not so much bringing them to your crotch, it's sending them away. Okay, can you do the same thing holding your feet? The outside edges of your feet? No, we're doing ankles. So starting in that position for Sally is good too. For you, just to lie in that position and hold your legs in this way. On your back, yeah? Just see if you can hold all those variations. Try holding your ankles, try holding your outside edges of your feet, your knees. So what do you need to do with your head? To round your back, that's it. So you see there's increasing degrees of difficulty. So if you throw your head back, you're more likely to fall. And you'll be afraid that you're going to bang your head, so you're going to have a hesitation about doing it. To roll, you've got to be round. Otherwise, it's like a box rolling. You know, it's got edges. That's right. Well, we can make boxes roll, but it's not actually truly rolling, but they can move through space. Okay, rest on your back a minute. Notice how you sense the floor. How you feel the floor with yourself. How you feel yourself with the floor. The other thing that we really encourage you to do, as we talked about in the beginning of the segment, many of you, trying to do a little bit of ATM every day. Now that could be just lying on the floor and playing around. Or it could be doing 5 minutes of an ATM lesson. Or it could be going to an ATM class. But it really makes a difference. But I can't do it for you. I can do it for myself, but I can't do it for you. Please come back to sitting. How are you going to get there? You're going to use roll up? Yeah. Okay. Open your knees to the sides. Have the soles of your feet together. If you can, hold the outside edges of your feet. Otherwise, it could be your ankles. Could you begin to move your right elbow to the floor in front of your right lower leg and come back? And come back. Begin to explore that. Got to check out Jenny cuddling her 2 chickens. It's good. I don't know where I put my phone. So continue doing that. I'll get you the picture for posterity and send it to somebody. And I've got my thingy in my pocket. It's like my babies.
We did have a practitioner who and lived in quite an isolated area.
Okay, so you're beginning to roll yourself a little bit or rock yourself a little bit to the right and come back. Make sure you can come back. Now, as you lower your right elbow to the right, can you lift your left foot away from the floor and away from your right foot? And then bring it back and come back to the middle. So here you're exploring. You're moving yourself to the right. Your head is moving in space. And your left leg can be like a counterbalance that can help you from falling. Your thumb is with your fingers. You're holding on to the outside edge of the foot or the ankles. So really let your foot come away from your other foot. So your feet separate. They stop kissing one another. And then bring the sole of your left foot back to the sole of your right foot. So feel how bringing your feet together, the soles of your feet together brings you back. Yeah? Now what other relationships help you come back? The head? What about the pelvis and the floor? And what's happening through the middle of yourself? What's your left knee doing? Left knee. As you bring... Sorry, Ray. As you bring the sole of your left foot back to your right, can you feel how your left knee is moving away from you? Pardon? It's a relationship. So it's not just in your hip joint. Yes, you're right, your hip joint is moving, but we're thinking of the knee moving away. And it's the spatial relationships that our nervous system drives its actions on, our intentions on. Yeah. Okay, see what it's like on the other side. Maybe your other side's easier. Go slowly. Notice, where do you orient your head? How are you breathing? You're thinking of putting your elbow to the floor. Your right foot is coming away from your left. It's lifting up in the air. What direction do you lift your right foot in? Can you soften your legs, your left leg and your right leg, and start to feel where this movement directs your leg if it's not stiff? Where is it easiest to go? And can you come back? So you can begin to go further, but be clear that you can come back. Falling, babies fall, falling's okay. It's part of the learning process. But the more you can keep it reversible, the quicker you'll learn it. So let your head hang down. As if you wanted to kiss the ground in front of your foot, in front of your arm. Orient your nose to the floor. Your nose to the floor. Now here your back is making shapes like those early ATMs. And when you come back, it's finding the same pathway. So if you fall, you're going to effort to come back. But if you learn to feel what needs to happen through the middle of yourself, you'll be able to find your way back home easily. So your head gets lower and lower towards the floor. Your elbow moves in the direction. If you use momentum, you'll have to use momentum to come back up. Go slower. Try slower. You want to go faster. It is okay. If you've got pain anywhere and use your momentum, you're likely to hurt yourself. More likely to hurt yourself. If you don't use momentum, you won't hurt yourself. Very unlikely you hurt yourself. Rest on your back a moment. How old's your son? Oh, perfect.
I'd love to do this.
Yeah.
That's our study group.
That's
Are they going to come at my home?
or maybe you could take some videos. Could you roll back up to sitting? Hold your feet in the same way, and then explore going down to the right. So you can hold your feet or your ankles. But your thumb is with your fingers. Otherwise it leads you into different configurations of your arm. Bring your right elbow towards the floor in front of your right lower leg. Lift your left leg, foot, into the air. Find the timing. If you lift it too soon, you're gone. If you lift it too late, it holds you back. Let your head hang. So slowly your shoulder, your elbow, your shoulder will go towards the floor. And to come back, that's probably when you can use a little bit of swing of the lower leg, the left lower leg, so that you're aiming the sole of your left foot to find the sole of your right foot while your knee moves away from your torso. And if your intention is accurate, if your trajectory is accurate, or even in the vicinity of, that orientation will bring you back up to sitting. Okay, roll down onto your back. And on your back, can you hold on to your left ankle with your left hand, right ankle with your right hand, or the outside edges of your feet, whichever's easy for you. Now just imagine that you're a baby. You're not an adult. You don't really care whether you get there or not. Play around. Let your arms are from between your legs. Can you use your feet like steering wheels? So you open one knee to the side and feel how the weight of your leg pulls your pelvis to that side and the other foot towards your buttock. So when you're going to the left, your left leg straightens a little bit, your right knee bends. When you want to go to the right, unbend your right knee and bend your left leg. So your foot comes down towards your crotch. So here you've got a real timing. You can end up in knots, or you can feel how to drive yourself like a car. And that your legs can orient your pelvis. Your legs can roll your body. Could you roll yourself over onto your left side by opening your left leg and closing your right leg, knee? And then to come back from your left side, could you start to open your right leg to the right, close your left leg, but keep aiming your right leg to the right? Because if you stop aiming your right leg to the right, then you start contradicting yourself. Your right leg's going left, has stopped moving, while your left leg is going to the right. So now we're opening and closing. So we're doing this. Don't stiffen your chest, soften your chest, soften your chest. Just so, yeah, playing baby legs. Now, can you feel that you're rolling over the back of your pelvis? Try arching your back. Try arching your lower back and doing this. Doesn't work, does very well, does it? And next time you roll to the left side, can you bring your left foot, bend your knee so your left foot comes close to your crotch, on the floor. So your left foot's on the floor. Mm-hmm. Now, yes. Okay. Now think that you're going to move, your head's going to turn towards the floor. You're going to aim the sole of your right foot towards the sole of your left foot while your head moves over the floor, turning down to the floor, and your right knee moves away from your body. So your foot is... Oh my God, she got it! Uh-huh. So, if it's difficult, you won't have heard something that makes sense to you. So, every person will need a different hint about orientation, yay, or timing. Or speed. Yeah. Can you? Yes. So once you've rolled to one side, can you keep going? It takes about 4 rolls to get back to where you were. But just watch out for other people. Can you change directions? Ah. Parents always do that, don't they? Spoil the fun. Keep your head low to the ground. Think of the knee that's moving forwards, moving away from you. Think of the sole of your foot coming together. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Rough landing.
Have you tried both directions? Have you tried both directions? Speed helps? Good. Okay, sit. Sit for a moment.
Boring.
Sitting's boring? Okay. Can you hold below your knees? Stand your feet, hold your hands below your knees. Roll back onto your back and flip up to sitting. Below your kneecaps. You can do it that way also. Uh-huh. Yep. Does that feel easier? Very easy. Nothing. Okay, hands behind your knees. See what that's like now? Or anything. Try anything. Madhavi was just about to try both hands behind her legs like this. Yeah, go, try. Yeah.
No hands.
No hands. Yep. It is. Uh-huh. Exactly. Try knees open, holding your ankles and rolling backwards. Soles of the feet together, hold your ankles, or your feet, yep. Uh-huh. Harder. It is harder. But it's easier now than before. Exactly.
And I can do it straighter.
Uh-huh.
Like actually on my back instead of
Yeah.
over.
And now after you've tried, oh, look, that's another one. Holding the feet together from underneath the feet. No, he's not got crossed arms. Look how Madhavi's trying to make it even harder still. Oh, there we go. Okay. But you see, then it really demands the suppleness of your back. It's not as hard.
It doesn't feel like it's as hard from this way. Oh, I did.
Well,
okay. That's great. Now one more time. Go back to holding the outside edge of your feet, knees open, and rolling. We'll all go in the same direction. See if you can be aware of the people around you. Now that means not just where they are, how far they are, that means timing. Could you go in a way that you pace the people around you so that you're sensing, adjusting, listening to the others? Okay, so slowly to the right. Yes, I pointed that way, but I mean that way. To the right, from sitting. Yep. Onto your back and up to the other side. And then when you come up, just look around, see where people are. Maybe we've lost it for a moment, but that's okay.
Well, they're synchronised.
They're synchronised. So when we get a few synchronised people, we'll try something. Okay. Emma, Marissa, Martina, and Amanda, do you want to sit back to back? Sit all with your backs facing one another. Not necessarily touching, but a little bit of distance. So you, yep. Okay, now, so which direction would you like to roll to? Right, okay. So listen, sense, paying attention to each other. When you're ready, begin. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Uh-huh. You want to try one more?
Can we go the other way? Are they going to spiral out if they do two in the other direction?
Let's see. Can you go to the left? Happy to go to the left? Yeah. Go slowly so you can feel where the others are relative to yourself. Butt kisses, that's okay. Okay. So maybe just in a line. Just try a line. Yep, each take a mat. Because then you can play with the speed. If anyone else wants to join the line, join the line. Okay, when you're ready. Keep going. Round onto your back, over your left side, up to sitting. Keep going. Very good. Very good. Stand up and see what walking feels like now. When you feel energized, frustrated, ready to go, light, heavier, and walk around. Yes, it really stirs up the vestibular system. Good. Thank you, Margaret. So I wish you great learning months ahead. You've been a pleasure. Pleasure to be a part of your learning process. Thank you. See you down the learning path.